Today we're finishing up the book by Marianne Morrissey, Brave Thinking, and we're going to have an experiential experience today, and our focus is on creating your dream and making it reality. So the first step of the dream building process is blueprinting, and I'm here to lead you through a meditation of getting clarity on what it is that you desire. So we know that God is infinite and is always seeking to expand and experience itself through us. And we all have the power to create. And Mary Morrissey says, as long as you are breathing, you are creating. And she also says, when we find an area in our life where we find ourselves to be discontent, when we're longing for something different, that's Spirit's way of nudging us to something new, something better. It's a way for us to expand into life, what wants to be fully expressed through us. So we're going to start off by leading you through a short meditation to find one area in your life that you would like to expand on, all right? And we do have clipboards and paper here if anybody would like to write. Some people would rather just do it in their head. It doesn't matter. So if you'd like a clipboard, just raise your hand. And for the people online, just grab some paper and pen if you so desire. Okay. So in the book, they talk about 4 different areas of your life. The first one is health and well-being. The second is love and relationships. The third is vocation. That could be something you're paid to do or volunteer, doesn't matter. And the fourth is time, money, and freedom. So pick which area of your life that you would like to expand on, and go ahead and just close your eyes. Now, I just want you to think of that area of your life and just think of, where are you being nudged to grow? Which of these areas? And just allow whatever that comes up, just go with it. Maybe you'd want a deeper health and well-being, more love and relationships, different type of vocation, job, or more time, freedom, and money. Doesn't matter, just wherever you are being nudged to grow. So just go within and be aware of that space. And notice what it is that you would like to expand into. What is this next step? How can you live your best life in this area? How would you like to share your gifts? And just how do you want to show up in the world? What inspires you? Just breathe into that. And just know at this time you don't need to know how. It's more about what it is and just allowing that to unfold, to expand. Notice where you would be going, what you would be doing, and what does that best life look like for you? Just going to take a moment and allow you just to get into that feeling tone of it. How is it that you want to feel? This area of your life should be exciting, enthusiastic. And when you're coming from that energy, we know you are in alignment. What brings you alive? We're just going to take one more moment with this. Okay. Now that you have that desire, that it's awakened within you, I'm going to call on Rob to come up and direct us in our next step of making that dream a reality.
Thank you for that. My name is Rob Wozniak. I'm one of your licensed spiritual practitioners. I'm going to have to move out a little bit so you can see me. Everyone can see me. We're doing things a little bit differently today, but I want to go over the part of the Mary Morrissey book where she talks about bridging. How do you go from this fantastic, inspiring vision to the actual planning steps of bringing it into reality? Like what's in the way? You know, what do we need to cross over? And I love this. I read this last sentence in the introduction to the bridging section of the book. Mary Morrissey says, bridging is all about matching your thinking to the life you would love. I was like, wow, that sounds really familiar. That sounds like what we do here, you know, like this is about, you know, if you work with a practitioner, you know, it's always about, you know, elevating your consciousness. So that the life you want manifests easily. You know, when we work with a practitioner, we don't focus on the details of a situation. We're really looking at what's in the way of things just manifesting based on who you are as an extension of all that God is. You know, where God is love, God is freedom, God is abundance, and it's typically what we call false beliefs. You know, these ideas that we're not enough. Or, you know, there's something about me, or there's something that I can't have that stands in the way for us progressing in the direction of our dreams. And so typically, you know, in a practitioner session, we sort of ferret that out through a process called dialogue, which is really a conversation, and we really get to identify those false beliefs. Well, we don't have time to do all that today. So, but I trust that you've all been really good students and you've been following along all month. So you already have an idea of what Mary Morrissey has been calling, you know, common hour thinking. You know, these things that are in the way, these fears, these false beliefs. And so what we thought we would do, and I'm going to have my friend Gordon assist me, is really, you know, kind of call them out. I'm going to call them out loud, and as you call them out, I'm going to write them down here on our little makeshift tearaway whiteboard. I don't know what to call this thing. I think it's a whiteboard, but it's like tearaway chart. Okay, so on this chart, I'm going to write down things as you call them out, and Gordon's going to help me so that I can hear, and then I'll write them down here, and we're going to do something with them after that. And the people online are also, if you can just put it in the chat, you know, what are those common hour beliefs or false beliefs or old ways of thinking that are getting in the way of you, you know, manifesting, you know, this great vision that Donna helped help you identify. All right, crickets so far. Not enough time. Too. Not enough time. Too much work.
Too much work.
Not enough money.
Living in lack, not enough money. From online, we're getting unworthiness. Okay, too old.
Oh my gosh.
Inconsistent action. It's a good one.
Fear.
Fear. Lack of resources. Lack of support. Okay, you have to break your own values, your own morals. Go against yourself. Okay? Fear of failure, that's a big one. Other people won't like me.
Uh-oh, we're running out of space.
What else? Distractions, easily distracted. Thank you. Anything else? Other people do it better than me. Okay. Comparisons, yes.
Not smart enough.
Not smart enough.
All right.
Lack of confidence from online.
Oh, boy.
And I'm sure that's in the room too.
All right, we've got a good sampling, a lot of false beliefs, a lot of, messy consciousness kind of in the way of these visions manifesting. So, well, what do we do with that? Today is your lucky day because I happen to be a practitioner. So I'm actually trained in helping you release these false beliefs through a process called prayer treatment. So it's not just prayer, it's treatment. We're treating your consciousness. We're treating these false beliefs. I'm knowing the truth for you, which is a wonderful thing that we learned in practitioner training, that, we actually have the ability to impact other minds when we hold a higher level of consciousness ourselves. So what I'm going to do is go into what we would do at, say, the end of a practitioner session. I would go into prayer treatment. And it would start something like this. I would invite you to get comfortable where you are. Take a couple of deep breaths at your own pace. Just following the in and out motion of the breath. You don't have to close your eyes, but if it's comfortable, you can. And just recognizing that there is one life, one source, that is wholeness, that is beauty, that is love, that is abundance, that is freedom. And as I know this is true about Source, I know that it's true about me, that this power and presence lives within me. This beauty, this wholeness, this love, this peace, this freedom, this abundance. And as I know this is true for me, I know that it's true for everyone gathered here today, in the room and online, that we are one with the one, that this power and presence calls us to our highest and best, calls us to the truth of our being, this right idea in the mind of God that extends as us. This wholeness, this beauty, this peace, this love, this freedom. And so from this place of oneness, from this place of knowing, I simply declare that it is easy for us to step into the life of our dreams. It is easy for us to know the truth of our being, that we are an extension of all that God is. And I simply deny the power of any old ideas, any false beliefs that stand in the way. We bless them. We bless them for any purpose they served in the moment, but we know that they're no longer relevant, that they no longer have the power over us to limit our thinking, to limit what's possible for us as we move through life, as we grow and evolve spiritually. So letting go of these ideas of not enough time, not enough money, not enough resources. I let go of this idea of what others are going to think. This fear of failure. This belief that I'm not enough, I'm not smart enough, I don't have enough confidence, I'm easily distracted, that other people won't like me or they'll be jealous. We simply acknowledge these ideas, we acknowledge these fears, And we allow them to disappear into the nothingness from which they can, because they weren't created by this loving presence, this loving source. We let go of this idea that we're somehow unworthy. And we affirm the truth of our being, which is we are an extension of all that God is. We are worthy of the highest and best that life has to offer us, that we are called to our highest expression, that our good is unfolding in our midst right here and right now. That it is easy for us to know this abundance of life manifesting through us. That the things that we hold in our vision easily manifest. That there is no thing in our way. That this consciousness of oneness, of wholeness, of beauty, of love, of freedom makes it easy for us to step in the direction of our dreams, to manifest, to know that we are loved unconditionally. I'm just so grateful to speak these words. I'm so grateful to be part of this process, this becoming, this expansion of consciousness, and all that it leads to, all the possibilities and manifestation that it leads to. Just so grateful to speak these words, grateful for the fulfillment of this prayer. And I release this prayer into the action of the law that only and ever says yes. And so it is. And so what we've gone is, as we move through this process, we've put together curated a slideshow, which I'm going to sort of call your attention to the screen, and we're also going to be showing online. And this is really just to keep you in this space of knowing the truth and what's in your heart.
All right, well, I want to start my part by just thanking Amy for getting rid of those false beliefs. Moving them away. Getting them out of here. All right, so as we've been talking about, the Brave Thinking book has sort of 3 sections: blueprinting that Donna talked about, bridging that Rob had talked about, And I am going to talk about the last part, which is called building, but I like to think of as activation. It's the brave thinking activation process. It's just an important part of the building, and I thought I'd take a couple of minutes to meditate on what we can do today. So I want, in your mind, we're going to do a short meditation. What can I do today to move forward, to bring my dreams into reality? What can I do this week to bring my dreams into reality? What can I do this month to bring my dreams into reality? And I'm going to ask you to just take a minute and just see what comes up for you. And then what can I do today, this week, this month? And I will let you know in a couple of minutes, and then I'm just going to ask you to share what came up for you with somebody else in the room. Or if you're online, you can put it in the chat. So we will have 2 minutes of silence, and then we will come back. All right, so now I invite you just to take a deep breath and just really see these steps that came up, and I invite you to share what steps you can take today, tomorrow, next week. Share them with one of your neighbors in the room, or put something online in chat if you're online. And we're not going to share this out loud. This is just for you and for your immediate neighbor. But I invite you to take a minute now and just share what came up for you. What can you do this week? What can you do this month to move forward in bringing your dream into reality? Okay, I would invite us to come back together as a group for a little bit. Now, this brave thinking activation process is not something for right now. It is something for right now, but it's something for tomorrow and every day, and it's something that I encourage you to just share with other people as you decide what your process is. So I'm going to close out this part by talking a little bit more about the brave thinking activation process. Chapter 11 of the book, it has a sort of a detailed framework. I'm not going to go into any details. It lists, first of all, what's the source, by which it means what are your ideas for what you can do, and then, sort of organize them in terms of what's most important, select the ones you want to address right away, and actually set up a schedule for yourself. But what was really interesting to me is that the fifth step that's listed in the book is called serve. And I'm going to close out my section by reading a little bit from that section in Brave Thinking called serve. Your final step is to serve. All great dreamers, dream builders do this. They learn to treat little actions. I'm sorry, I'm really having trouble with my glasses. Little actions with great reverence. You are part of something significant and meaningful, serving the dreams set before you and having the privilege of helping others to build their own. Notice how you treat the first scheduled activity on your list. If you take your appointment casually, you will generate casual results. When you focus your attention, you direct energy. Committing is a pledge to yourself to sustain that flow of energy, putting your integrity on the line. As you consider each action, ask yourself, am I treating this action as a critical element of my dream becoming my life? If you know that to be true, honor your commitment by following through. Don't worry about perfection. Just know that if you step up your energy, you can move molecules. Bring brave thinking mindset to every task. And I'm going to turn this back over to Donna.
Wow, love the conversations in the room. Wonderful. Now we're going to take this into prayer. And just take a moment and go within. And just step aside. And allow this energy, this essence, this presence, which I call God, just to speak me and pray me right here and right now. Just recognizing God as that all-powerful, all-knowing energy that ever has been and ever will be. Knowing that right here in this moment is all the energy and the essence, that integrity that always has been and always will be. I just say yes to this creative life force fun energy, knowing it as God. I know I am one of this, just as each and every one of us. That same essence, that power, that presence is the truth of who we are. I just say yes to this co-creating relationship, knowing it as God. Knowing that I am, you are, we are powerful creators all day long. I just say yes to this dream that you have spoke of today, this dream that you have envisioned, knowing it as real, knowing it as already here and on its way. Knowing because that is what the universe does. It does nothing but respond to that which we are. I just say yes to our power, our presence, our worthiness, our absolute knowingness, and our absolute trust and faith in God, knowing right here, right now, that this is on the way. I just say yes to this. I give thanks for all that has transpired. And together we say, and so it is.